Welcome to the first episode of the podcast, HotPodgery. With me today are my esteemed hosts, Aaron Satterfield to my right, and to my even farther right,
Bobby B.
Bobby B.
How's it going, everyone?
What's going on, fellas?
Thank you for tuning in. Today we have an interesting episode, and I believe Sean's going to pitch it. It's a little bit of a recent event, and also a topic that I think at least I hold closely in my heart. So, Sean,
I think this is near and dear to everyone's heart, but I think in the spirit of what's going on in the world right now, I think we should discuss what's going on at Area 51.
Ooh, yeah,
right?
Little
Because
Area 51 action.
Because the last I read, there was 75 people who showed up out of the 3 million or so that accepted the Facebook invite. That's classic, by the way, because people never show up to the Facebook invite when they accept, like, my fucking birthday. But that's fine. And my point is that I think it's very interesting that, 75 people showed up out of, and they were detained.
Can I also add that this whole Area 51 alien stock, which I believe they were referring to it, that was like my favorite time in internet history that I can remember. Like the memes that were produced off of alien stock made my life story happen.
I don't want to derail, but Tekashi 6ix9ine right now, I don't know if you've seen those memes, just snitching on everybody.
Oh yeah, dude.
I just want to throw it out. I'm just throwing it out there because I fucking love it, dude.
It's amazing. Like, honestly, it's funny.
Sorry.
It's great.
Anyway,
alien stock. Believe it or not, I actually read in an article last week. I know, ladies and gentlemen, it's amazing that I read. It shocks me every day. Myself, especially that the public education system actually didn't completely fail me. Thank you. So I was actually reading that the founder of the Facebook event was scared and backed out of the alien stock festival that was planned out there in the desert because he was too scared that it was going to end up to be the next fire fraud, which I just find hilarious because I was like, dude, fire fraud was the greatest fraud scandal in history. I was inspired by it. If anyone's looking to get into the next fraud scandal, let me know. Comment and subscribe and let me know.
I was thoroughly inspired by that as well. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that you watched both those documentaries on Hulu and Netflix?
I did watch both of them. I think I didn't pay as much attention to the Netflix one. I think I watched the Hulu one in detail. I don't remember. One of them I watched in detail.
I watched them back to back, which is very interesting.
Okay.
Which is interesting to do because when you watch them back to back,
I think I did the same.
When you watch them back to back, you get a totally different perspective in a way, right? So like the Hulu, like I remember seeing a picture in like the Netflix version, kind of like somebody had a meme and the Netflix version made it look like the whole fucking island was on fire, and the Hulu version was like it was just fucking females walking on the beach half naked, and it was like they were very different perspectives, but of the same case, and it does reflect it well in the documentaries, but like. I don't want to get off on that tangent, but I mean, at the same time, I think it is an interesting thing to point, like, not wanting to be part of the fire fraud situation is kind of a dramatic comment to make.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because
I would have loved.
No one thought he was gonna be there and fucking conduct the Naruto running. Like he wasn't gonna be on the front lines of Area 51. Like I never would have expected him, I mean, you saw the diagram he pulled up.
Actually
right?
going...
You see the diagram?
No. What diagram?
The diagram. There's a.
Are you talking about like the Kyle
diagram
sprinting in?
The diagram of how we're going to attack Area 51. Where did he fit in?
The Kyles, the
he
Karens.
Didn't fucking fit in anywhere.
He was gonna come in a helicopter and just fly down.
He wasn't the fucking general who was going to just come in. So I mean, I'm not saying I get the point. Like he wanted to remove himself completely, and I respect the concept of removing himself. And it's a shame because the internet today, that's the situation you put yourself in. You put something out there, you think it's funny, and
then you're done.
You think no one ever gonna look at this again, and then in his situation, it became a thing where it was like you shouldn't have done that. Well, it was funny, and it should have died there, but it didn't, and people are fucking nuts. And
believe it or not, in local news here where I'm at in the home state of Maryland, there was actually someone that I know. Well, I don't personally know them, but I know the person who hosted a large Facebook event actually got in trouble for not having the proper whatever it is, documentation and whatever the fucking laws are called of having large grouping of peoples in one area.
For the event?
Like a permit.
The permit. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
The permit. So I definitely understand why you'd want to get the hell out of there, because there was millions of people saying they were coming to this event. Everyone knew millions of people weren't going to show up.
Missed opportunity, man. We should have.
But you really think you would have gotten a permit for that?
We should have hosted an event for the invasion.
We still can.
That would have been fun.
But anyway, I still find it amazing that people actually did show up. It probably would be a funny experience
75?
to show up to. That's a decent
What's
amount.
that? 0.00001%?
Yeah, but still, well, hold on.
I expected more.
Listen. I just want to put it out there. That's more people than Sean had at his birthday party.
Damn.
Good. Hey, Busha. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby.
I wish I had sound bites right over here.
Good fucking good circle back though.
Of course.
Okay, good job.
That was good.
Yeah, good job.
That was good.
Good reference there.
But I gotta say, like, they did an interview. I wish I had the video eventually. We'll get to the point where we can pull up videos while sitting here. There was a video. They did an interview with a kid, right, who was at the event. And look, I'm not saying there was anything wrong with the kid, but look it up. Watch the interview with the kid who was doing the Naruto run, or however the hell you say. Naruto. Okay.
Get it right.
Watch the kid who did the Naruto run in front of the news reporter. They do an interview with him.
That's amazing.
And it is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. The kid, again, I don't know if there's anything wrong with him. I think he's absolutely fine. I just think he might need a little bit more time in the sun, and maybe the desert sun fried his brain.
Listen, I need more time in the sun. That's the first thing I'm going to say. It's fine. But I'm going to point something out. See, there's a thing, and I know this kind of is still, again, derailing our topic a little bit, but I want to point out, just to fact check you a little bit, Naruto running is a thing.
Oh yeah, dude.
There's
hot.
There's a thing where people meet in groups of the hundreds, maybe thousands, and they just run.
Do you guys want to see?
It's not. Guess what? This has already existed. It's called a marathon, but they don't do that.
Have you actually tried it? Have you tried it before?
No.
Because you can't move your arms and the angle
seems
you're
really,
in. It's
probably
difficult.
hard. I mean,
like especially to do it and look cool. It's
No. Hold on. You can't look fucking cool.
Yeah, you can. Okay,
probably could.
You can't look cool.
There's a video game called Apex Legends. All right, one of my top fave legends. Ray. She
Aaron.
does that.
Hey, Aaron.
Listen,
hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. That's a video game.
Wow.
That's not real life.
Listen,
I'm a streamer. Look, here's my link right here. Look at it.
It's probably not there because we don't know what we're doing yet.
We don't know what we're doing.
It might be up there.
It could be. Honestly, I'm going to put it up there. Right there.
But it's somewhere. So click it.
That's where it's going to be.
Watch and play video games.
God damn, Sean. You just love peeking on the freaking... So anyway, coming all the way back here, the reason we brought up Alien Stock outside of talking about the event itself and just kind of how extravagant and funny it is, I want to pose a question to both of you.
Do it.
Do you actually think there are aliens in Area 51?
Yes. I actually believe so. I mean, there's so much out there that we don't even know what the government does, right? I mean, granted, this is a whole nother topic that we could also get into, but just to stick to this, there have been a lot of other reports throughout the years. Now, me being born in 86.
Damn, showing your age.
Of
Old
course.
as fuck.
I don't mind being old.
Hold on, pause. Oh, it sounded good.
Oh.
Continue.
It did sound good, actually.
86.
86,
Take us
of
back
course,
to
of
a
course.
majestic
But
year.
you got to understand.
Bushan, was that the year that crack was invented?
Crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine.
Oh, no.
Do you think crack cocaine was invented late? Another topic. We're not even going to go there. But do you think crack cocaine was invented later than crack? Or at the same time? Is it the same thing?
You got to understand.
Crack is made out of cocaine. So crack cocaine is a byproduct of cocaine.
Right. I would think crack.
So
cocaine.
crack cocaine.
Do you guys know where that
Wow.
comes from? Where it was originally?
Cops. I saw it on Cops.
Okay, no, I'm talking about originally.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Of course.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come home?
All right. Well, to circle back,
86.
let's circle back.
Government,
All right.
aliens, go.
I mean, coming from that area or that era, we don't have internet. We didn't have any of that stuff at that point where, it's easy access. Now you got to look at all the newspapers that came out, all the videos that came out and everything. I mean, there are a lot of reports that have been backdated for years and years and years stating this claim. It's out there. And now the fact that everybody wants to go and find out, and you have government telling you can't, and they're forcing you out, they're definitely hiding something at the end of the day.
But it is supposed to be a top secret Navy, Air Force, military base.
But for what reason, though?
For them doing research on top secret weapons and aircraft.
It's way past that, though.
You think so?
Of
I mean, that's what
course,
I'm asking.
course.
You think so?
No,
so here's the
of
thing.
course.
Here's the thing. I don't know if we have that technology. Do I think the government has had that technology before? 100%. Because if you look at reports, or at least I've seen on the History Channel, and I completely believe everything I see on the History Channel. I've seen on the History Channel before that after Roswell, New Mexico, the apparent reports that the wreckage was sent to in the different military bases around the country, one of them was Area 51. And out of Area 51, we saw the development of stealth flight technology, which where did it come from? It was said they reverse engineered alien crafts, but then again, do you believe the weather balloon story? But I also want to back that up that I just recently watched the Bob Lazar Netflix documentary, which I highly recommend anyone who's into aliens watch the Bob Lazar documentary. I have heard rumors that it could be fake. I can't back it up. But Bob Lazar even said he couldn't confirm that there was any alien technology ever delivered to Area 51. He was actually at a base somewhere near Area 51, but it was not Area 51.
Bobby, let me take this.
That's just my 2 cents. I didn't mean to cut you off, Bobby.
Because Bob, I think that
Bob says, go ahead.
Bob, I don't think you watched the Bob Lazar.
I did not.
I had strong suspicion.
I came out of Bob Lazar. I told my grandma. I walked up to my grandma and I said, "Grandma, aliens are real. What do I do?"
What did Grandma say?
Grandma was like, "Tell me the story." I told Grandma the story. She laughed and she smirked at me and she said, "That's nice, honey." such a nice nan thing to say.
Yeah. I watched Bob. I watched Bob Lazar. I took a lot of interesting things from it. And I did some slight research. I mean, when I say slight, I mean the internet's fucking vile. It's a vile place, and none of it's true anyway. So, but
Not true.
It kind of is true, but
Sort of true.
Right. I tried to look up as much as I could, and one of the things he talks about, you're right. So he dances along this concept that he's basically telling us like, hey, I've seen alien technology, but I don't know if aliens are real.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? He's like, hey, look, aliens, they might not be real, but like the shit I worked on, we don't have it. And that doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm sorry.
The reason why I think he has so much credibility is because he didn't say that he doesn't believe they're real. He just has never seen an alien. He did mention that he may have seen something, but he even backed it up by saying, I wasn't even sure. I was just walking by and I saw something in the corner of my eye.
I remember that, and guess what? He said, I was walking by a window and I looked inside of a window and I saw what looked like a gray man. Why do we fucking think that aliens look like fucking tiny gray people with... Let me ask you.
Green.
Either one, but let me.
But there is a species of alien that they called the Greys.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why do you think they don't wear clothes?
Dude, why are they naked, dude?
They're so advanced. They don't wear fucking clothes.
if I was in an advanced alien situation, my dong would be covered by something.
Absolutely. I walk around with my dick covered 24/7 now. If I was even more intelligent, it would still be covered. That's not going to change because I'm fucking more intelligent. I'm already like up here, okay? And I'm not. If I was
Hold on a second.
If I was more intelligent, I wouldn't be walking around naked. And
hey, maybe they're just so self-confident that they don't need clothes.
How do aliens reproduce?
Well,
I'm just interested now.
Okay, good question, right? So we live in an interesting time where it's like, you know what? I went to put in we were, creating an account for this little podcast. I was waiting to create an account, and they said, "Are you a male, a female, or unanswered?" And I was like, "What the fuck does that mean if I'm unanswered?"
You actually...
And to that point, my point is like...
I think that's more or less a gender question, but...
It's a gender question, but my point is it's not a gender question. An answer shouldn't be unanswered. It's not a question if it's unanswered.
This is a whole nother topic about gender.
You're right, and I'm not getting into that. What I'm trying to point out, what I'm trying to essentially point out is, you asked me, well, how do they produce? Well, at the same time, we're at a point. Think about our.
Oh.
Think about
I see how you're looping this in.
Think about our situation where we've come to as a society. What's our intelligence level?
They neuter everyone. All of alien babies are made in a vat.
Fucking could be.
Well
oh my god, they don't even have a mom and dad.
Because the difference is, it could be, because you know why? Because what's the most sufficient way of doing it? And right now, I don't know that it's our way of doing it.
Now that you're talking about it,
okay.
If aliens were so advanced and so smart with their technology, look at us now. We can test tube babies and we can pull out specific traits.
Right.
So if a society did get so advanced, you would be able to have all of your species pulled out with the best traits.
But that's what you would
most
do.
Intelligent,
but that's the
most
point.
Attractive.
Hey, so let me point something out. That's exactly what you would do, and that's what becomes interesting, because if you think about it, when we were coming up as a civilization, okay, we would just breed the first animals. Animals look at the first, a dog looks at the first female dog or male dog. It doesn't matter, obviously, because they haven't reached that point. They look at a dog and they say, I want that dog, and I'm going to go hump that dog. And guess what? What happens is they do it. And if it produces something, then fucking awesome. But if it doesn't, that's fine too, because that's just how it works. With humans, you can be a 2 and get with a 10 if you got that paper, right? And that's fine. But that child... it may be ugly as shit. It may be intelligent as shit. Or it could be one of the combination of the two. And my point is, in an intelligent race, they're probably looking at, how do we continue the race? How do we continue the intelligence? And by doing that, what you do is you take the best breed possible, and maybe it's from a fucking vat. Maybe it's from a tube. And hey, if that's how you continue the race, that's what's the most important aspect.
That's super
That's
impressive.
why we're here.
I never thought of that.
Wow.
I never thought of
That's
that.
why we're
but
here.
There you go, Bouchon. There is the answer to why, and Sean, that's why we both are wondering, why are they little gray men? Wait, why are they?
Because you know why? You know why? Because color.
That's why.
Because color doesn't matter.
Well,
because color's not important.
Made them all gray.
Right, exactly. And actually,
or maybe that just fit.
And I've heard
the original stories of aliens.
But I've heard this before. I've heard that there's a thought process that by 2050, and this isn't going to happen. You can see that because we don't have that much time. But there's a thought process that by 2050, that America is basically going to start breeding gray people. And that's not. I mean, it's not. It's an early concept. But
I wouldn't call them gray.
Are you talking about
it's a gray. You know why? The reason
people?
Yes, but the reason they're picking gray is because they're mixing black and white, and that's not fair. We should be mixing all colors in. But my point is, it's not my theory. It's a theory that exists out there that says, hey, we're going to eventually take white people, black people, and we're going to mix everybody together, and we're going to be gray. And it's a great thing in thought. It's not going to really happen that way. But the point is that when they talk about a gray race of aliens, they're talking about there's no color. Right? So we have colors. They don't have colors. The point is they're one race. They're advanced. They've gone past the concept of I live here, you live here. Just because you live in a different state than Bobby and I, okay? And
Okay.
we look at, I'm not saying that we have any problem with Maryland, but we look at it and we're like, there's a division between you and I. We don't talk about the fact that you're a fucking human, you're a human, and we're on the same planet together. That's not important. But in an advanced race where we don't fucking fight over everything, that's important. And that, if they exist, and I believe they do, but if they exist, that's the difference. Because they're one people or one something, and they come here as a unit.
So you're pretty much saying they're way past all that in their advanced.
That's not important. That's not important.
The way he explains it, I could totally see.
That's not important.
I get it, but
because what does it matter? What does it matter if Bobby? When I look at you and I, right? Okay, you're from. Where are you actually from? Tell our viewers where you're from.
Originally,
yeah, where are you
India.
actually from? No, but where specifically in India?
Oh, Gujarat.
I can't even say that.
Exactly.
That's fine. But you know what? I'm from Pennsylvania. All right outside of Philadelphia. Okay, what does that matter? What does it technically matter? The fact that it's a talking point between you and I means we haven't reached the point of complete unity as a race, or as not even a race. Fuck race, as a humanity. If they're on another level than us, they don't care about that because they're blank, and we haven't reached. We're blank. They're on their own, a specific entity, and if they are really that far ahead of us, that's not important anymore. It's not important.
So back to the original question, which I see what you're saying, and it's interesting to think about. I've never thought about it before. That if there was this advanced civilization, Jesus Christ, I can't get the word out. Anyway. You're right. I mean, they would probably eventually reach a point either through just breeding or through selective enhancements. They would reach that. But the question comes back, too. Do you think they're in Area 51?
Bobby gave his...
Bobby said yes.
Bobby said yes.
He definitely thinks they're in there. What about you?
I think that there's another perspective that I have, and I'm going to point this out. But I also want to say, to answer your question, do I really think that there's aliens in Area 51? No. I don't think there's beings in 51.
What about technology? Let's go with the other side.
So,
what about technology?
Before you answer that, I want to clarify. Okay. I'm saying not live.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying that there's aliens that are
Pour one out for all the dead aliens in Area 51.
A little bit of Henny.
Yeah.
Little Henny.
Yeah, to all the dead aliens in Area 51.
I don't have anything in my drink. It's a shame.
That sucks, dude.
Yep.
Did you drink it all?
Yeah.
Yep, I did. Anyway.
So hold on. Let's regroup here. So
okay.
You think there's no alive aliens?
Well, no.
Do you think there's no aliens?
I don't think there's bodies. I don't think there's bodies in aliens.
You think there's no live aliens?
Correct.
But let's regroup. What about alien technology? And my answer to are there aliens in Area 51? I'm also going no. Alive or dead? I'll probably also go no, but I see where you're coming from there. Alien technology? I think there was a high probability there may have been, but I also have another theory that completely kind of blows that out of perspective for me. We'll get there. But what about you guys? Do you think there's alien technology there?
Bobby, I'll let you go first.
All right,
I feel like I went off on a little bit of a tangent.
You
so.
did. You somehow ended up dogs fucking each other, which was incredible.
And then went to a race.
And then you took it to race. Which was also incredible. Great point. Can I point out, great points.
Thank you.
Though, because, there is a point in time, and also talking about breeding of humanity.
Right.
There's a whole nother subject I want to get there, that there is a whole concept of each individual only having one child. Eventually, humanity population can dwindle just through breeding. Because if each person only has one child, that ends up with two only becoming one, and then those two people mating, it only becomes one. The society base dwindles. But that's a whole other topic. We'll get there different times. Great points.
Absolutely.
So alien tech. Let's get there.
Alien tech. Like you mentioned before, there's definitely alien tech. recreating.
Definitely.
Of course.
That's a strong thing to say.
hold on.
Why
When
definitely?
I say definitely, I'm saying in my opinions, I definitely believe there is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Let's clear the air there.
And also, if we go back to my Roswell comment, I also believe that there, at one point in time, may have been something more advanced than what we had at the time period. Which I'm not saying could be aliens. It could have been the Russians. Damn, the Russians could have had something really nice that wrecked in the desert. But I will also go as far to say that there was something. So,
I mean, you got to understand all the stuff that we've created over time. We couldn't have just created it out of thin air of just testing all this random material together.
I absolutely disagree with you.
There's got to be a starting point where we've hit.
I'm sorry.
Right?
I'm sorry. No. I mean,
why would you?
No, I mean that's why we're here. We're here
Of course.
because we feel
If you
different.
agreed with me, then there would be no point of talking.
Right. No, I agree. I'm on board with that piece. But to say that there's no way that we couldn't have done this on our own, that's fucking crazy. We've been on this earth for 5,000-6,000 years that they know of. And
I'm not saying we couldn't.
No,
have
but my
created.
point is in the last. Think about this. I want you to think about this.
Did you just say that humanity's only been on the earth for 5,000
No,
years?
we personally, they can track us back. I think to 6,000, right?
I'm pretty sure it
I'm
goes
pretty
like
sure
way.
Was it like
I thought it
10,000?
was like hundreds
10?
of thousands. I mean,
No,
maybe I look
it's-
like a
it's
jackass.
No, it's not that far.
I could have
Definitely not
swore.
100,000.
Yeah, it's not that far.
No.
It's like 10. It's like 10.
I could have swore they found like some like.
Well, you know what? If you're listening to this, fact check us. But I think it's 10.
Actually, if you're watching this, like definitely comment on the video below. Like,
And if you're
how
still
long-
watching this, hey, please subscribe because.
yeah. Well, hold on.
Thanks.
You're an asshole for even asking that. But if you're still watching, thank you for the support. I think that's what Sean meant to say.
Right. No, I mean, the whole idea is, here's the thing. I think of it as being advantageous for everybody because if we can deliver content on a consistent basis that you want to listen to, then, and you help us out. I mean, we want to be here for, we're not doing this for us. We can have these bullshit conversations on our own.
Yeah. I mean,
We
it's
want- we
completely
just
true.
want-
We have.
We just want
true.
other people to also hear these things because we feel like there's an entertainment, there's a perspective difference that we want to bring to the world. And I think that, subscribing, that's not a dickhead thing to say. It's just, hey, listen, if you want to hear more, then do it.
It's not a dickhead thing to say. I think I understand where Sean's coming from. If you love our content so far, there's going to be more coming up. So definitely, yeah, if you like it, follow along. If that means hitting a subscribe button, as douchey as I think that sounds, but
Hit that sub
hit
button.
that sub button. It's gonna be right here, because we do YouTube. No, fuck that. If you like it, go ahead. If not, comment in the video. You guys fucking suck in all
But hey,
caps.
if
But
you
we're
just
just
hit
glad you're
send.
watching.
But hey,
Yeah, dude, I'll take a hater any
Seriously.
day. Man.
but you know what? If it sucks though, at the same time, just tell us why.
Yeah, honestly,
course.
tell us why. We'll fix it. You're probably just gonna be like, your video quality fucking sucks.
And we're always
that's
trying
fine.
to get it better. Right?
We'll get better.
So-
But anyway,
we're here for the Hedgies.
we're getting away.
So-
The Hedgies, dude. You guys are so
That's
cute.
a cute.
You say it's so cute.
That's so cute,
It's
isn't
the
it?
cute. It's hot. It's everything.
Just so you know, I want to give a shout out there. I came up with that.
Aw.
Yo, shout out there. Thank you.
So, just had
Appreciate you.
That was very nice.
I had to
Very
do.
nice.
I had
That
to.
was so sweet, dude.
I
That's
had-
so mushy. I
Wow.
might jump out. We're on a second story right now. I might jump out the window.
You won't die, but it's
That's
fine.
why he's sitting.
I'll just like break a leg.
because we won't let him go.
So anyway,
But yes,
alien technology. Bobby B said it's definitely there.
In my opinion, yes, it's definitely there. Only reason why, and again, I know you have your own opinion, Sean. My opinion is more towards how we've created a lot of our technology over time, right? Granted, we would have created it ourselves. Eventually, we would have gotten somewhere where, hey, we have stealth equipment, or we have all these weapons that, blast lasers and shit like that, right? But you got to understand, there's got to be an idea first, right? It couldn't have just been, they found stealth technology and that's what they did. They probably found an alien technology where they came up with certain ideas to be able to create the technology we have right now, right? It doesn't have to be exactly
He's
the same.
chopping.
you brought up absolutely my favorite point that's ever existed, though, and I love this point, and I'm going to point something out to you that I think is
Hit
super
it.
important.
Love it.
I'm excited now.
I love the support. So I came up with this not that long ago, and I thought to myself, you know what? It really came up because all the memes for Area 51 were coming out, and they cracked me the fuck up. But I was like, you know what? Nobody ever sits and thinks about like, all right, so there's aliens that come and visit us, blah, 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 right? And we're like, oh my God, I'm scared. There's fucking UFOs. But like, what happens when we get to the point where we're so advanced that our rover, that our spaceship lands on someone else's planet and they're recording us and saying, oh my fucking God, what is that? And my point is that what you just said is, it's a Hollywood concept. It's something that they put in front of us and they said, this is an alien. This is what an alien is. We described it as something that's come and visited us that we can't describe. It's someone who's different than us. And that's not real. They've put it in our head that alien technology is the same shit we've been working on for 20 years. So think about that.
So talking about a Hollywood concept, though, that's a great point, because like, even if you look at conspiracy theories about us being to the moon, everyone says that no, Stanley Kubrick totally faked it, and then what is it? The Shining, his movie, The Shining, was his like tell-all to secretly tell us that he faked it. And if you watch, I don't give a shit what you say. If you watch A Space Odyssey 2001. There is definitely 100%, I believe, the technology available at the time for him to fake the entire thing. He actually downgraded his quality from Space Odyssey 2001 to fake the moon landing if he did it.
I'm not saying that the moon landing.
Just throwing it out there. No, maybe a whole nother concept for another video.
I tried to,
could be.
I mean, it absolutely could be. I tried to watch the documentary you pointed out to me, and I got through it a little bit, and I fell asleep.
Well, you fell asleep.
I'm just pointing out.
Well, how far did you get?
I don't know, like 20 minutes.
Gee.
But the point isn't that. I mean, really, the point is that. So here's the thing. I as somebody who creates music, that's always been an interesting spot to me, right? Like, when you're creating art and you have a story to tell, do you really feel the need to embed it in your art? And I'm not trying to go off on this topic, but my point is like, when you talk about Kubrick and you talk about like, was he basically admitting something? I don't think it's important. I mean, that's the thing. Like, was it something he was so bogged down in his personal life? He's like, I got to tell people it's fake. Well, I just don't think it's that important.
Because here's the thing. Sure, you might have a completely valid point.
Just tell. Like, my point would be, just tell somebody if it's that big of a deal. But like,
well, here's the thing. The government is so, and maybe it's NASA, whoever it is so involved in this secrecy that he knew if he told people straight up, he would die.
Hey.
Even look at Neil A. Armstrong. Okay. Or Neil Armstrong, which is this bitch's initials. Okay. Spelled backwards is alien. Come on. Think about it. His initials backwards, Armstrong with an A, and the name Neil spelled backwards is alien. Come the hell on. It's all a fancy story. So the only way Stanley could tell people that I faked it was by hinting tiny little secrets that only certain people would probably pick up on in a movie to say I did it. Or he was a mastermind and said, what if I could fake the entire idea that I faked it just by hinting a few things in the movie?
But you know what, Nate?
So which one seems more plausible?
So now I feel like I need to watch The Shining over again.
You need to watch The Shining, and you need to watch the documentary.
You need to watch the documentary in order to...
Plus, I gotta say, there's a new movie coming out about The Shining. It's like a prequel to The Shining, and it looks... and it looks fucking amazing.
That's called Dr. Sleep for anybody.
I cannot wait, so I'll be seeing it.
That is...
A complete tangent, but...
That's a Stephen King.
Cannot wait.
In case anybody doesn't know. Shout out to Stephen King, by the way. I fucking love
Stephen King. If you're listening, which I mean, like, I hope to God you are.
Dude, if Stephen King's listening, guess what? We fucking made it. Hey, Stephen, sub.
Dude, fuck all that. Stephen, if you're watching this, dude, like, I love all your movies, dude. Like, just hit me up. I'll be a guy who dies in one, like, right off the bat. Like, I'll be Georgie. Just saying.
You're a little fucking old for Georgie. But, you
I'm
know what?
a little old.
You know what? To your point, I think you have a good point. But I also want to point something out to you that, you know what? Maybe the timing's different, right? So when you're making a movie in the 70s and you're thinking to yourself, do I need to tell people that aliens exist? Do I need to tell people, or, you know, this is a little different, but I need to tell people that we fucking lied. We faked something. Maybe that's your medium, but that's such a large scale. And I think that maybe times have changed, but at the same time, let me point something out. They talk about all the conspiracies that exist, but like, we're in a world where, and I don't want to call anybody out specifically, but we've seen presidency situations where people who have talked shit, guess what? They died.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, that's
hey. Listen,
society we live in.
That's it, right? That's the end game. You just fucking die. Okay? But the other people who come out there, and then when you make a conspiracy theory and you say, oh, is Bob Lazar saying aliens exist? No one's fucking with Bob Lazar. I mean, he's saying they are. He's saying the FBI is listening in. But so what? Just fucking off the guy if it's that serious. And they haven't done that. And my point is that if he's really exposing legit information and the government's concerned, they would address it. We wouldn't get a Netflix documentary.
Well, here's the thing.
You would read in the news. You're like, oh shit, Bob Lazar.
But you wouldn't completely know that, because I've also heard, and I don't know the term, maybe someone who listens might know it. There's also been people working for the government that sell the idea aliens are real as like a plausible deniability, so that way people are always looking at that avenue, saying, oh, it's aliens, because they don't want you to think or see what's really going on.
Right. No, that's fair. I mean,
so I mean, and even Bob Lazar said it in his documentary. What an amazing conspiracy that in the conspiracy itself, someone can tell you or show you evidence that it exists, but you still believe it's a lie. It's the greatest cover that's ever been developed.
So I heard, I was watching H3, and
shout out H3. You guys are sweet.
Inspiration.
You are inspiration.
I was watching H3, and that was a really good point that came up, which was that, is it more or less a situation where he's giving X amount of information and the government's determined that that's okay, so let him go.
Yeah.
Because the information, he's not technically saying that the aliens existed. He's just really saying like, alien technology.
He said this advanced technology exists, and the only place that it could have came from was aliens. And I think that's what's so incredible about it. And it's so difficult because you want to believe what Bob Lazar is telling you so much, because you hear it and you're like, there's no way this man's lying. And he's been lying for the past 30 years. Has the government paid him to lie about what he believes his true experience is? I don't think so. Bob, if you're watching, dude, call me up and I will talk to you about it, because I don't think you are. But it's just one of those things that's so difficult to get past, because like I said, the government has made it one of those things that even if someone told you the truth, you couldn't 100% believe it. It's a conspiracy that like or a theory that contains itself.
Okay, well, let me pull back a little bit and let me ask you both a question. Okay, and
sure, would love it.
A quick answer would probably suffice in this situation. Do you want to believe that aliens exist?
See, well, here's the thing, right?
Because let me preface this and say that you made it sound like, because you said I want to believe Bob, and how many people out there want? How many people want to believe that aliens exist?
I think
because there's reasoning behind it, right? If they believe in something, then they'll be able to put a reason.
Well, guess what? That's called God.
Situation.
But that's called God. Do you want to believe God exists, or do you want to believe aliens exist? Because hold on. In a way, people are saying you can't believe both, and if that's the case, if you can't. True. Well, I don't. Hey, hold on. I'm not saying I feel that way. I'm saying that if you look at certain religions, if you believe one exists, you technically can't believe the other exists. That's all I'm saying. And my point is that, are you saying that you want to believe aliens exist, and why?
So here's
why
the
does
thing.
it matter?
I think because this is why
can't we be alone?
I think this is why it matters. I think this is why it resonates with so many people, because I think everyone wants the feeling that they're not alone.
We're not alone. There's fucking 7 billion of us. We're all in this shit.
There's 7 billion of us alone on a rock, and we have no understanding that anything else is real.
Hey,
but if we actually, like, from Mars, someone like FaceTimed us and was like, yo, what's up? I'm an alien. I live on Mars. What's up? You're not alone. We'd be like, yo, there's other life.
Let me ask you both a question. Bushan, Bobby, I'm gonna target you on this one.
Damn.
Let me ask you this. You ready? When was the last time you went? When was the last time you went home to India?
About 20 years ago.
20 years ago. If a fucking earthquake eliminated.
No, it wasn't 20. Well, hold on. It wasn't 20 years ago. It was just like. It was like. Didn't you just go back like a few months ago?
No, he was thinking about it. He didn't.
No, you
that's
did.
right. That's
You
right. That's
did.
right. Yeah,
He
yeah,
did.
I did.
He just visited it, but it wasn't his
But
hometown. It was like
a
a little
2-week visit. That's not.
It was a
really,
sabbatical.
That's not really.
And
It was
he-
a sabbatical.
An actual visit.
Yeah,
an
to your
actual
home
time
and, like,
to
all
see
your
my
family.
and everyone.
Anyway.
About 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Good point. Anyway, Bob. So my question for you is.
You fucking maniac, Bob.
Anyway, my question for you is this: if an earthquake, I don't know. I don't even know what fucking happens in India. I'm bullshitting, but let's say
Earthquakes happen.
Okay, an earthquake. If an earthquake eliminated a quarter of your country, would you know the difference?
Yeah.
You would know the difference. How would you know the difference?
Twitter, Facebook.
Exactly, because the news would tell you.
Or my family would
right.
call me.
Well,
if they're alive.
maybe, but the point I'm getting
Like-
at is Aaron just said, "Hey, we don't want to feel alone." You can make that choice as a human being in America in 2019. You can make that choice to either feel alone or not feel alone.
But
because my point is that it doesn't matter if it exists. You're not talking to them. What's it gonna do? It's nothing. There's people in Japan I've never talked to them.
There's a difference, right? There's a difference with.
I'm with Bobby on this one.
Like being around people here
Yeah.
and feeling alone here is different
Okay.
from thinking that you're the only planet in the universe, and that is infinite.
Can I point something
That's
out?
different.
You say that. Can I point something out to both of you? If it's true, and there's life on other planets, everything that we're doing right now is fucking pointless. And there's no reason.
That's not true.
It is to a degree. What's the reason?
not true.
What's the
Let
point?
me put this out there. Let me put this out there, right? So
Okay.
there has been research out there, right, that there are other planets with water.
Are you going
right?
to cite this?
I've heard this.
I'm
I've
kidding.
heard,
You want to pull it up?
no,
I'm kidding.
I've heard
But
this.
there are other planets that they have found with some type
even
of water.
Mars, they say there's
What
below the
if-
surface water.
What if?
And the moons of Jupiter.
Right. So
I just read that.
I can kind of split this, right? So
Okay.
So I'm gonna backtrack real quick just to explain something, right? When I say aliens, I'm saying aliens as in undefined items that we have not been
Life forms
exposed to,
not
right?
items.
It
Water
could be
would not be an
weapons,
alien.
It could be people.
Oh.
You know, so
Okay.
alien technology, alien people.
Well, technology
right?
and
so you
life is,
understand that. So when I say this, I'm not backtracking on my thoughts. I am just stating this as if there's water out there in other planets, what if the way we were created eventually, like we came to life and everything, what if we were the first? And then eventually down the line,
Wow.
those
Hold on.
areas
I like that.
with water
I never thought of that. That's interesting.
is what's forming right now.
There's
something.
there's a theory. There's a theory that exists, and I'd have to look up the term, but that's a great point. And that's what it's called. It's called the Great Filter. If you haven't looked it up, I highly recommend looking up some videos and some information on the Great Filter. The Great Filter would explain why we are an intelligent life species that have not found, at least that we know, another intelligent life species. And that's something called the Great Filter. This is a topic for a whole nother episode because I love the concept of the Great Filter. And the Great Filter basically says we're either before the Great Filter or we haven't met, or we're after the Great Filter or we haven't met the Great Filter yet. And what the Great Filter is a life-ending extinction period. So a lot of people are saying the Great Filter might be the formulation of microorganisms and multicellular organisms. Because in order for two cells to just start interacting with each other and working together versus just eating each other or whatever the hell cells do, that could have been the Great Filter that separates us from all other life in the universe.
Okay.
They also think maybe it hasn't happened yet. But there's also a theory in the Great Filter that says we may be the very first intelligent life species to develop in the universe that we can see, which is why we're not hearing or seeing anyone else. Or we're one of the last, meaning everyone's already passed, and then we're just out there and we're one of the last. But I have major issues with that, because then you have to really start digging into the way light works and the speed of light. Because if someone beamed a fucking radio signal at us 1 billion years ago, but that's too far in the universe, we might not even hear it for another 1 million years, right? Because that's the way everything, all data travels at the speed of light. Mm-hmm. We might not notice that until forever from now. And then once we hear it, we're like, oh my God, there's someone else out there. But they've been dead so long that we're just going to start picking up on their broadcasting thinking they're alive, but they're already long dead. Or vice versa, all those signals have passed and everyone's long dead. So it's difficult. It's difficult. And one of my things, kind of to ground this back to where we were, is alien life. Do I believe it exists? I think it's a fundamental question of whether or not you think, and it's a bigger concept. I want to talk about this more in other episodes. But I think it's a concept of, do you think the universe is infinite? If your answer is yes, then I think undeniably the answer is there's definitely intelligent life somewhere in the universe. I don't know if we can see it. I don't know where it is, but I think it's out there. But if the universe isn't infinite, then I think my answer changes a little bit. And I also think, in speaking on this, is there intelligent life? Well, if there was in our observable universe, why aren't we just pointing a radio at the sky and hearing them? Why aren't we picking up signals? There's definitely explanations. Well, obviously, if they're super advanced, Aaron, why would they use radio technology? Radio waves seem so antiquated. We don't even use fucking radio waves anymore.
Well,
we use
like
TV waves.
What was that word?
I don't know. I'm probably not saying it right. Fuck you, Bobby. English is my first language.
Antiquated.
Antiquated. I'm just going to call it antiqued.
Antique.
They're antiques.
And
anyway,
it's dicked.
My concept is now dicked because of these two dicks. But anyway, that's my theory on it. So, but I'd like to get your buy-in. What do you think in the term of the universe? But there's two fundamental questions there, which I brought up. Is like, one is, do you think it's infinite or not infinite or finite?
I don't believe that the universe is infinite at all.
Really?
Well, I don't believe.
Do explain.
This is fucking a plot twist that I did not see.
I don't believe the universe is infinite.
Why?
Because I don't believe anything is infinite. It's not. I mean, so the problem we have is that as humans, we can't technically, we can't actually quantify what infinite is. We created a word that says it's something that has no ending.
But in theory, there's no reason why it shouldn't exist. It makes perfect sense.
Hey, there's also no reason that any of this should exist, period. Think about it. No one's ever, that I've ever heard, has ever sat down and said, why does any of this actually exist? They give you a reason for why it does. They don't give you a reason for why it should, because there is none. And that's where we came up with God. And I'm not bringing God into the mix, but I'm just making the point is that we need a reason to be here. And that's why we said, well, because God was like, dude, I'm fucking bored. I need something to just like watch and create, right? Otherwise, there's really no reason for us to exist. There's just none. We serve zero purpose. Technically, as humans, all we really should be doing is probably eating and finding a way to reproduce, and that's it. That's all we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to do this. We're wasting our minutes on Earth because and the reason that we're doing this right now is because we no longer have to go and search for food. I didn't have to go and kill an animal. We got pizza earlier, guys. It was very good.
It was good.
And the thing is,
shouts out to Andrea. Shouts out.
Yeah, that was very good. Thank you for picking that up.
Nice.
We didn't spend an hour and a half trying to find a chicken to kill, right?
But if we did have to find that chicken, I could definitely kill it very easily.
Yeah, that's true.
I would jump on
I
it.
think out of all three, Sean is the strongest.
I would shoot it, clearly.
I agree with it. But
I'm the only one with advanced weapon training.
Sean is still the strongest. But the point is that the point is what we're doing here on Earth is we're just wasting our time in a way because we have nothing to actually. Anybody who's listening to this, it's because you're not doing anything else. If you're out killing a fucking animal, you wouldn't be listening to this. Although if you were, while you were killing a fucking lion, dude, that's fucking awesome, and thank you. So
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know if killing a lion would be
considered
awesome. Let me just.
No, I mean I'm not. I'm a lover of animals, and I don't promote killing anything. But my point is, if you have to kill animals for food,
Sean just promotes killing a lion.
If you have to kill anything for food, then that's it's a different situation. And my point is,
didn't need that there.
my point is that, as
know
humans,
there.
all we're really doing is we're wasting our time, and we filled it in with things that give us purpose and reason. And as humans, we've gotten so smart that we said, well, what's our purpose? And we've really technically never came up with it. So what we did was we created God, and we said, God must have put us here for his doing. But think about it. No one's ever said, hey, what's God's reason for putting us here? No one ever came up with it.
Because if it is God, and I have my own theory on this, which we will touch in an upcoming episode. This is a great segue into that, I think. And what I will say is I see where your thought process is coming from, and you can't say, well, what is God's purpose? Because no one knows, because God... and don't take offense to this, anyone who's listening. I don't think it's an old man in a robe or some mystical being, because I don't think that's what it is. I think there's a scientific explanation for what God is, and I think this is a whole concept of how religion and science play into each other. We're not going to touch that here. That's going to be the next episode. We're definitely going to get into depth with it, but I have a theory that backs this up of kind of what and I don't know if there is a purpose. You might be absolutely accurate that there is no purpose, but I think there's explanations to it that makes sense. Like maybe everything happened out of chance, and as wild as that sounds, I mean, it doesn't mean that it's purposeless. I don't know what that word would be, but I think there's definitely purpose in it, which would only be defined by you as a person experience the situation. The purpose of God's plan is what you choose to do with it. So God's plan and God's purpose for you, because you're the only one through your experience, is what you define. So back when people had to hunt for food, their purpose was to survive and procreate and probably create safety for their community. And now that has changed because we've been lucky enough to have these advancements. Now God's purpose, and this will make sense if you watch the other video that we will produce in the near future, now God's purpose becomes, we've been lucky as a species. So my purpose now is, what makes me happy? What do I have to do to make me happy? Maybe that's the person you're with. Maybe that's the passion or the art that you create. Or maybe it's like I've been doing, playing fucking video games every day. I rage at it every day, but at the end of the night when I go to bed, like, I'm super happy that I got to play video games. Maybe not super happy that I had to go to work for 8 hours every single day, and that's what we're trying to get away from, because that's not what makes me happy, but I think that is the purpose. So, and maybe that's not God's purpose, but that is life's purpose, which I believe, if you watch the other video and hear my theory, it would make sense.
So again, you guys both have some unique perspectives, and obviously I have my own.
Bobby's gonna come in with the knowledge.
So, again, we said we're gonna use this as another episode, so I want to kind of backtrack back to our original point, which is you're saying that there is no such thing as infinite. In this universe.
I believe that.
So you're saying that at the end of the day, we go deep enough, we hit a wall, or we go deep enough where we're just coming back around.
Well, I mean, so here's
How
the
does
thing.
that work?
It has to work. If you hit a wall, there's something on the other side of the fucking wall.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Because, and again, not to bring God into it, but God is important in this particular situation on this question. And you say, did God create the universe? Because why would there be a universe and then a God was assigned to it? Because here's my point. If that's the case, then there's a God of a God. And now we have a fucking problem. Because now we need to figure out who's the fucking top boss who's making calling all the shots, right? My point is, if there's a God of a God, then he's doing something. He's decided that, I'm creating
and I
this.
think
But if we're not bringing God into it, then yes, absolutely, the universe is infinite. Or finite, rather, not infinite. It's finite because if it's something that just came to exist, that we know so far, everything we've studied ever is finite.
So if you believe in a finite,
it's infinite. It's infinite because
understand
humans. Remember, humans created infinite as a term to describe something.
If
you read the definition of infinite, it says It's something that has no end, but it's an observable end. And to that point, we don't know where it started, and we don't know where it will end. So we just said, the universe is infinite. It's infinite because we don't have it. There's no defined end to us. So we said, hey, what's a word when you can't define something? Someone said, I guess infinite. And that's what it became. So if you're going to, there's technically no evidence to say that it's infinite. All there technically is that we have no evidence to say it's not. But my point is that.
So isn't that saying the same thing?
I'm saying, you asked for my opinion. I'm just saying it has to be.
Hold on.
Because why would it be?
I think this is a great segment. One of the other topics that I had for this channel to talk about was the theory of infinity. And this is the topic that you guys are getting into, which I believe is a great topic because all of these things play into. So I think when we get into our religion topic, where I explain my thoughts a little bit more, I think we're also going to segment into the topic of infinity because and I know I brought it up by asking the question with aliens, but I think we can regroup because infinity it's a strong topic because this mathematical theory, that's what I'm going to call it. I think all of math is bullshit. Sure, we know 1 and 2 makes 2, but the thing is, we created it at the end of the day.
I just want to throw this out there. I just want to throw this out there. 1 and 2 equals 3 for whoever's listening.
1 and 1 makes it.
1 and 1 makes 2.
We're many beers deep.
Just want to let people know we are educated.
Like I said,
so is Aaron.
Like I said,
he knows math.
I went to Maryland public schools, and they failed us on a lot of things. Okay, I failed multiple things, but all I'm saying is the topic of infinity and religion, which we're getting into, I want to regroup into another episode because it's going to be a great episode, and I don't want to lose that here.
Yeah, that's
but my theory, and bringing this all back again, is if the universe is infinite, is there aliens in the universe? The question is, for me, the answer is yes. Like, the aliens themselves, if the universe truly is infinite, dude, it's us. There is a carbon copy of you somewhere in the universe because that is how infinity works.
But you're talking about another worlds that.
Well, that's
so again.
It's also in other worlds.
Gotten to.
But parallel universes in one infinite universe. I shouldn't say should happen because that's not true, but the possibility for them to happen exists because what is it, after a Google or a Googleplex, which is a true mathematical term, atoms start reconfiguring themselves in similar patterns, which means if you go far enough in the universe, the same universe we exist in, you will find the same recreation of atoms and molecules which make up you. You will be there. Or the possibility for you to be there exists, which means if infinity is real, creations, which are copies, are going to happen. Are the same decisions being made? I don't think so. And I think that's where people start getting into the parallel universe or the many worlds theory. And again, all topics I want to take into other considerations, but let's just talk about our observable universe. Do I think aliens are there? It's a really hard question, and honestly, I would love to believe aliens are there, but I don't think so. But I want to believe. Cue the X-Files music.
I think that if they were here, they stopped by. And they kept it moving.
And we're like, yo, what up, dogs?
Because I'm
an alien. I'm super smart. I got this super cool spaceship. Aren't you jealous? I'm out. Peace.
They met us and then just
left.
They built a pyramid and was like, yo, ain't this shit awesome? We're out.
Confuse these people, mess with their heads, and then we're just going to go.
So
see you later.
But for real, I mean, why we're so, as humans, we're so fucking self-centered. We think that aliens care about us. They don't care about us. If they're the most intelligent human being or the most intelligent beings in the universe, then they want to keep visiting us? No.
Well,
why?
I don't think they would want to keep visiting us. But hold on, let's think about it, right? Because we're an intelligent species.
Okay. And
if we knew on the moon right there, if we knew there was a semi-intelligent species, but not as good as us. Like, these dudes were walking around in the 1800s with their, like, old-style, like, wool suits, like, sweating their ass off.
Right.
And we're like, oh, let's go up there and show these assholes what cell phones are. They're going to be like, well, you're amazing.
But they haven't exposed themselves. And why would, if aliens exist, why wouldn't they expose themselves to them?
Well, hold on. So here's the thing. Would we go there and interact with them?
Yes.
Yes. Because we can do the trip.
We do it now.
We can share the knowledge.
We do it now. You go, how many studies do you watch about fucking raccoons?
We do it in the third world countries.
Go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and type in, I want to watch cute videos of raccoons doing stupid shit.
Shooting hoops, like rats shooting hoops. That's a real thing.
Exactly. But, I mean, the point is, I get that. I'm not saying that we don't observe.
So here's the thing.
The point I'm making is that I don't think the obsession with us is not what we think it is.
Well,
we have.
I don't think aliens are obsessed with us, but
would
they meet with us in secret at a place like Area 51 to share intelligence or share information?
Secret? Why is it secret?
Because the government knew. Because this is where the government.
But what about their end? Stop thinking about us. Think about them.
But here's the thing: if the government knew. They knew that all these people who believe in an orthodox religion are going to go crazy. They're going to burn the buildings. They're going to steal shit. They're going to think that because now God is removed from the equation, there is going to be no sort of ethics that exists, and people are just going to live in a primal state and do what they want. It's not true. I don't believe people would do that at all. But I think that's what, like, the old people, the people who are walking around who are like 90 and be like, I remember World War I, Sonny. It's not real. Like, we know that shit wouldn't happen. But I think that's the voter base they're still trying to protect.
Greed is a major thing, right, in this world. We all know that, right? So when someone has information that they can benefit from, or when things are, out there in this world, and you know how to make the world work the way you want to, you're gonna want to keep some of that information to yourself.
When they pitch wireless technology to us, and someone realizes it's gonna make them a billionaire, they're gonna keep it.
1G, 2G, 3G, now all the way to 5G. I mean, that's a different topic I can get into.
12G coming 2027.
So again, when you're talking about aliens, and their obsession against us, maybe there is no obsession. Maybe they just want to observe us. Maybe they just want to know what we're like.
But again,
are we a threat? What are we doing?
Why would we be the threat? They're coming down looking at
you.
we don't travel.
Throwing these questions out there.
I'm just saying we don't travel to Africa and say, "Oh, I wonder if lions are a threat." No, that's not what happens. If they're coming to our planet and they're chilling and they're watching us doing dumb shit all the time, and they're like, "Oh, are they a threat?" No, they can't even leave the planet. The fuck you mean? So they're going home and they're fucking kicking their feet up and they're lighting cigars, saying, "Guess who's not coming here? Humans."
Again, you have. Again, you have to understand.
Guess what?
They're so advanced.
They're not worried.
They can track us, right? If they're so advanced,
then maybe
they can observe us till they come to a point where they deem that maybe these guys are so advanced now. Now we might have a problem if they find out that we exist in this area.
Can I just point something out?
I love it.
We're at time, and
we're not at time.
We're at time. I don't want to keep.
We're not time.
Listen, we can go at this all
night. But you know what? Fine. Let me ask you guys a question.
Sure. Let's wrap it up with a few questions.
Okay.
And then we'll call it.
If aliens are so fucking advanced, and they're like, they come down. And the classic stories, right? We're gonna grab an old couple from the middle of Kansas at 3 a.m.
The answer is you probe them. You stick their ass.
Right. My question is why? We have mouths. Why do we need to probe everyone's?
I don't think
the other place.
I don't think any of those stories are true.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm actually on board with this.
And if there was such thing of an alien abduction, sure.
You don't think? Wait.
If one of them happened, if an alien abduction happened, maybe it was to study this living form.
Okay.
Right, and I mean there are stories about aliens abducting sheep and cows. So maybe they abducted every single living form on the planet. I was like, oh, how's this one work?
Yeah, no,
Again, maybe if these people are so genetically advanced and they're pioneering or creating themselves in a vat, maybe they want to know what every single thing's strength and weakness is so they can tweak that in themselves.
I'm not disagreeing. I feel like there's a better point of entry.
I don't think that's true.
I
think if there was an advanced civilization that's similar, and I should point out that's similar to ours in nature or physiology or whatever you would call it, I think they'd be interested in sharing knowledge.
I agree with that.
But I don't know if they're gonna want to abduct us or kill us all. I don't think they'd have the ability and technology to get a force here to attack us. I don't think it could ever happen. So the only purpose of ever exploring is to either A, observe, or B, share information. Because we might have information that they don't have. Maybe they're super advanced, but maybe they're like, oh yeah, we never had 3G. This would be really interesting.
Yeah, they don't have iPhones.
We never had LED
oh my
technology.
God, that's amazing. I never thought of that.
We never had LEDs, now we do. It's amazing.
Can you imagine?
We don't need incandescent bulbs anymore.
Can you imagine the flow of information and just how it works? And like, if they never came across that and never thought it was important,
it's completely possible.
So they came down and they were like, "Oh my God, what the fuck is TV? This is fucking incredible." And you're like, "Wait a minute,
radio
you have been traveling the galaxy for how long and you don't have fucking TV?" Dude,
your civilization is 2 million years old, and you have never wondered how an LED light bulb functions. We never knew it existed until right now.
And can you imagine?
Can you show us?
Can you imagine what would happen to the entire fucking civilization if we were like, "Yo, this is TV"?
Dude, that guy's going to be a billionaire. He's going to be like, give me all the info.
But
I'll give you like stealth flight.
But people would also,
They're trading.
But aliens would also become completely unproductive.
That's true.
They would, they went from
they would end up being us.
They went from being like up here that they're like, you know what? I'd rather really watch TV.
Chill.
Then there will be 3 aliens out there, opening up their laptops and computers and their, camcorders. And they would just be creating podcasts talking about us.
Dude, I would imagine
that's a good point, and thank you for pulling that back for us.
I would imagine if there is an advanced civilization out there, they're probably beings that probably aren't super intelligent, that can't zap across the universe. They're probably asking similar questions like, why are we here? Why is that all created? And honestly, I think the best answer for that, whether you believe in aliens or not, is just tune in to the next episode and check it out and hear what we have to say, because most likely that's what these assholes are saying in another universe.
If you tune into a future episode, you're gonna get the answer.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna give it to you.
We're gonna tell you exactly what's going on in the universe, and that's it. I mean, there's no other question, so you don't need to go anywhere else. You listen into this podcast because you want the answers to the universe, and we're gonna give you the purpose of life, and that's why you're here, and that's why we're here.
And truth be told, I mean, you got our opinions, you got our answers of what we believe, what's out there and what's not. At the end of the day, we want to know your opinions. So if you're listening, if you like what we've shared, please comment, please share your thoughts, and tell us if aliens exist in your thoughts.
And don't be a stranger, and don't be like, oh my God, I can't comment. I can't. Feel free to share this with anyone that you think. If you found this interesting in the slightest, like Sean says, as terrible as I think it says, feel free to follow along with us, whether that's clicking subscribe. If you honestly absolutely need to feel that need, go ahead, do it. Comment. Definitely interested to see what your opinion is. Share it if you find this on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you tuning in. Definitely tune in to the next episode. And Sean, do you have any closing words for us?
I don't. Thank you for listening to us bullshit, though, because
if we get one list, actually, if we get 7 listeners, and the reason I use this number is unique because I'm imagining we're gonna get Sean, most likely his wife. We're gonna get Bobby B here. We're gonna get me. We're gonna get my lady on the views.
And Bobby
if we can get more than 7, I'm gonna call it a great success.
There it is.
7 listeners. So
I mean, we got 5, so we just need 5 more. I think if we double our listeners.
Damn, you're going 10?
I'm saying 10.
Shit, dude. He's going big numbers. 10. I think that's too much. I think that's too much to ask.
You gotta fucking
listen. Even if we get 2, I'm happy. That's progress.
There's fucking 3 of us.
Remember,
there's 3 of us.
2 more.
Remember,
we have that.
I think you gotta remember my math. 1 + 2 is 2. Thank you for tuning in. This has been episode 1 of HotPodgery, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.